Israel advocacy is primarily, not exclusively, but primarily about building relationships. Relationships that matter. Relationships that transform the college campus environment because you're going to do them systematically over time. The first one is go on a listening campaign. This can be done by just figuring out which campus groups matter the most and go out there and meet with them and listen to what the other side has to say. Of course you're going to talk too, but start by listening. Second is seek partners with shared goals. The listening campaign is the first step, but partnerships take place over time. Partnerships are people who have something in common with you, you have a shared agenda with. Not every group you'll encounter is necessarily a good potential partner. Number three, to do your research, do your homework, know everything you can about them, but also understand that you're not going to know everything about them. In fact, you may not know some of the key points about them that are going to come up only by listening and asking questions. 4 relates to number 1, listen before speaking. If you've ever read Stephen Covey's famous 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it's first seek to understand and then to be understood. Same idea. Number 5, be open and real. One of the things that I think we're finding out in this day and age is that people see through the bull very easily. The more authentic you are, the more you are yourself, the more believable you are, the more likable you are. So again, be yourself. Talk to people in a way, don't come in there sounding like you're a high-paid lobbyist. You're there because you're a student, you're interested in what they have to say, and you're going to engage in the same way as you would somebody you just met in your dorm room. Introduce Israel in terms of your own values. Many of us have been trained in all sorts of talking points on Israel, arguments to make. And we come in there, we come into a meeting, and sometimes we can come off as imposing in a way to somebody who doesn't know that much about our views or about Israel at all. It's much more effective to talk about Israel according to your own experience, especially in the beginning. There's always time as you build up a relationship, as you build up trust with someone, to later on you make an argument. But in the beginning at least, talk about your own experience. You went to Israel, here's what you saw, here's what you felt. It was complicated. You loved it, but there were some things that made you a little uneasy about the experience. Over time, connect with their values. There's ways of helping them understand that Israel means something to them. It may be harder with some groups than others. It's easier, obviously, if you're talking to a group of business students who are interested in international business. Again, you're connecting to something that they care about, right? Their careers. They care about internship opportunities. So you start by trying to connect Israel to their values. Be transparent about your goals. You don't have to hide the fact that you're an Israel advocate and you're trying to find potential partners and want to kind of explore it and get to know them a little bit and figure out who are the people that you can work with on campus. Nothing wrong with saying that. Number 9, present Israel as a complicated but decent country. Here you have a lot of latitude. And it may be that some people are better at talking to certain groups than others. One of the things that we found when there was a divestment resolution before the Presbyterian Church, the people who had been doing Israel advocacy, like myself, who spoke the language of Israel advocacy, were not effective advocates in trying to get them to back down from divestment. It was the people who were a little bit more on the left, who were willing to publicly call out Israel, who all of a sudden had credibility to talk to the church. They were much quicker than people like me in understanding what the Presbyterians needed to hear in order to back down from divestment. Figure out who the people are who can best connect with different kinds of groups. And 10, humanized Israelis. It's more effective to talk about Israelis than Israel. People have this view of Israel and Israelis as a kind of a military fortress. So what we can do is help fill in those gaps. We can help humanize Israel. We can bring Israel to life. We can make Israel real. We can make Israelis real. That's more important than trying to get them to buy into an argument. So in a way, we are all brand messengers for Israel. We're helping them fill in that empty brand and giving them a taste of real-life Israel. That's what we can do, and that's what's most likely to move the campus environment in a more positive direction.